Hey guys, happy Pride Month everybody, and I hope you're having a really good time celebrating Pride however you can celebrate Pride, even if it's just feeling proud to be yourself inside because you can't tell anybody or you're not ready to come out yet. But I thought today that I'd do a video all about all the books that have LGBT representation in them that I want to read. Maybe not necessarily this year, but I definitely want to get around to them in the next few years. Because it turns out I've actually got quite a few books that have got LGBT characters in that I didn't realise I owned. So I thought I'd make a video with a whole list of books with LGBT characters in case you didn't know that some of these books have got LGBT characters in. Obviously there are a few in here that are obvious because it's a big part of the book, but some of them I didn't know had LGBT plus characters in, so I thought I'd make this video because I haven't read any of these and I just thought it'd be fun to share. First book I'm going to say is the Mortal Instruments series, which has obviously got Magnus and Alec in, and I have not read these books at all. I haven't read a single Mortal Instruments book. I haven't read like Clockwork Angel or anything to do with Mortal Instruments. If Cassandra Clare's written it, I haven't read it. We have 90% of the books. I think we don't have some of the later spin-off series, but we do have this series and the Clockwork Angel lot, if I remember rightly, and I've never read any of them, and my best friend loves these. Everybody on here loves these books, and I just haven't read them yet, and I really need to. I haven't even watched the TV series, so I'm seriously far behind on this, but I am desperate to read these at some point. I'm just slightly intimidated because of the size of all of these books and just how many books are in this series, but I really want to read it, and I really want to see what the hype is all about for Magnus and Alec, basically. I've also got And I Darken, which apparently actually has a male-male relationship in it, which I had no idea about. I just thought this was sort of like a revolutionary, dark, dystopia kind of thing. To be honest, I don't know much about this book, but I just looked it up and turns out there's actually a male-male relationship in this, so I now really cannot wait to get to it. Also, we've got The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet as well, and the rest of the series, which apparently has a female-female relationship in it, which I had no idea about. I had an inkling that this had an LGBT plus character in it, but I didn't realise that it was an LGBT plus relationship, let alone a female-female relationship or anything like that. I had absolutely no idea, but I'm very excited to get to this one. Maybe this year, I don't know. I'm trying not to start series at the moment because I'm on a book buying ban and I don't own the rest of this series, so I may wait till next year, but either way I'm very excited to read it. Now here's for the obvious one, Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I have owned this for about 2-3 years now and I still haven't read it. I was going to read it this year, but now I'm going to put it off until I read Harry Potter next year, because obviously this is based off of Harry Potter, sort of. It's based off the fan fiction Kath was writing in Fangirl, which wasn't Harry Potter, but was sort of like her universe's version of Harry Potter, I guess you could say. It's very confusing. But you guys don't know all about this. You guys have all read this book. But considering they're also making a sequel now to this called Wayward Son, I have to read this one. I have to get the next one. If not just so I can have the words Carry On My Wayward Son across my bookshelf, because I'm a big Supernatural fan and I really love that song. So even if I don't like this book, I'm still probably going to buy the sequel just so I can have that on my bookshelf. But I'm very much looking forward to this one. I do have high hopes for it because obviously it's come so highly recommended, and it's also got a vampire and magic in it, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to like this. Last of the physical books is Crooked Kingdom. As you can see, I am a quarter of the way through it already. I just started this yesterday. I'm hopefully going to finish this by the end of the week, but probably not. Look at the size of it and I'm very busy, but I'm so excited to read more of this because Jesper and Wylan apparently get into a relationship together, and I'm very excited to see that. I'm a big fan of their relationship from the first one, and I just can't wait to see how it develops. Then on my Kindle I've also got Vicious and I Can't Wait for Vengeful, both by V.E. Schwab, which contains an asexual character who I think is called Victor Vale. I'm pretty sure it's Victor Vale who is the asexual character, and I have never read a book with an asexual character before. I've read fan fiction with asexual characters in, but I've never read a physical published book with an asexual character in. And being asexual myself, it's so important to me to read an asexual character, and I haven't found one yet. So when I found out that V.E. Schwab wrote a book about villains trying to kill each other and one of them is asexual, I was there. It was basically like the checklist of all the things I loved, and then she was like, oh yeah, one of the main characters is asexual, and I was like, right, I'm reading this ASAP. I originally put it off so then I could binge it with the sequel, but I'm now on a book buying ban, but I may lift it just so I can buy that book and read it. I don't know yet, but either way, so excited to read about an asexual character in a V.E. Schwab book. You have no idea. Also, I want to read God's Grave, which is the sequel to Nevernight by J. Kristoff, and apparently this book has a female-female relationship in it, and I had no idea. I had no idea that there was going to be a bisexual character in this who ended up in a female-female relationship. None. I had no idea at all until I just read it on Goodreads and was like, I now have to read this immediately. I'm so excited to read this. I loved Nevernight so much. Like, you have no idea. That book single-handedly got me out of a reading slump, but I've been putting off reading the sequel because the last one in the series has been pushed back till September next year, so I'm a bit bummed about that. But now that I found out that there is a bisexual character in this, in a female-female relationship, I may break that idea and read it sooner. And finally, there's also Renegades by Marissa Meyer, where one of the characters has two dads. Now, that's all I know in terms of representation for this book, but I do know that it's about superheroes and supervillains, which, as you can tell, is one of my favourite things ever. I love superheroes and supervillains and stuff, and then I found out that there's a LGBT plus relationship in there, and I got really excited, and I was going to put off reading this one again because I can't afford the sequel, but I may now break that idea because I just want to read more LGBT plus relationships, and apparently there's a lot of diversity in this book, and it's about superheroes and supervillains, so I may read it during Time Topple instead. But either way, I'm so excited to read this book for the LGBT plus relationship in there. I'm just unbelievably excited. But that is actually the end of my list. I thought I had more than like 8 LGBT plus books in the house, but it turns out I don't, which is awful, quite frankly. So if you've got any recommendations, especially bisexual characters or asexual characters or anything like that, please tell me that down below. Anybody on the LGBT plus spectrum, please give me all the recommendations, even if it's in film and TV. I'd love to widen my range of in all LGBT characters, and please tell me that down below if you've got any recommendations in any genre. Just tell me anything down below, it would be fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've read any of these books and which ones I should focus on first and what recommendations you've got for me. I'll be incredibly grateful. I'll also leave the links down below to all of my social media if you want to check any of those out. If you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time guys, happy Pride Month. Bye.